Welcome to Phantom Tales from Vietnam, the channel that brings you true, spine-chilling paranormal stories from deep within the culture and spirituality of Vietnamese life. Tonight, we invite you to listen to a horrifying tale of betrayal, dark sorcery, and an army of wandering spirits, a story called When the Spirit Army Turns Against Its Master. The story takes place in a small southern Vietnamese town. Tu was a former soldier who had returned home after the war. Though his body had survived, his spirit never fully returned. He wandered through life like a ghost, struggling to make ends meet. At some point in the late 90s, he began learning black magic, partly out of desperation and partly out of curiosity. Tu wasn't naturally evil, but his choices started drawing him deeper into the shadows. He didn't learn from ordinary fortune tellers or monks, but from a man people whispered about, Tai Fu, an infamous occultist who practiced a banned form of summoning, Bin, spirit soldiers. These were wandering, unburied souls who could be enslaved by a skilled sorcerer to do his bidding, from guarding homes, stealing wealth, to cursing enemies. It's said that when you summon Bin, you must make a pact, offer blood sacrifices, and hold a strict, lifelong commitment. You could never betray or forget them, or else they would turn on you. But Tu, whether out of arrogance or ignorance, broke the sacred laws. After years of using these spirit soldiers to make himself rich and feared, he committed a fatal mistake. He broke the taboo of neglect. Specifically, during one ghost month, when he was supposed to perform a blood ritual and offer rice, wine, and incense at their shrine, he got drunk, mocked the spirits, and kicked over their altar. A few villagers heard him yelling, "I feed you bastards every month, and I'm still poor, useless." That night, a foul wind blew through his home. The smell of rotting meat hung in the air, and the dogs howled till morning. From then on, Tu changed. His face grew gaunt, his eyes sunken and dark. He said he was always cold, even in the hottest days. He began hearing whispers, even laughter, though no one was around. His home became infested with flies, and the walls oozed something black and sticky. People stopped visiting. And that was just the beginning. The night he truly lost control, he took his motorbike on a rural highway at dusk. While speeding, he saw a figure in the middle of the road, pale, thin, and motionless. He swerved to avoid it and crashed into a tree. Locals found him hours later, lying unconscious with scratches all over his body, scratches shaped like human fingers. When he awoke, he screamed, "They followed me! They're here! I didn't mean it!" From that point, he refused to sleep inside. He set up a tent in his yard, built a ring of salt around it, and muttered to himself all night. Some said he was possessed, others thought he was going mad. But then strange things started happening around the village. One woman said she saw children marching in the rice fields at midnight, barefoot and gray. A farmer's livestock were found dead with no wounds, but eyes wide open, tongues sticking out, like they had died of pure terror. Realizing the danger was growing beyond him, Tu sought help from an old hermit known as Tai Ba Den, a spiritual healer who lived deep in the hills. It took days to reach him. When Tu explained his sins, the old man just shook his head. "You broke the pact. You mocked the dead. Now they have no master. They are angry, leaderless, and lost. They won't just kill you. They will infect this whole village." Tai Ba Den agreed to help, but warned it would not be simple. A ritual of that level required blood offerings, sacred chants, and a confrontation with the spirits in their own realm, the Gyo, the shadow world. The ritual took place on the night of the black moon. A clearing was chosen away from the village. Salt rings were drawn, charms placed in the trees, and Tu was instructed to kneel in the center, tied with red thread to prevent possession. The hermit began chanting in ancient Vietnamese, calling out the names of the forgotten soldiers. The wind howled, trees bent. Then they appeared. At first only shadows, then bodies, dozens of them, children, old men, women, soldiers, all dead, all missing parts of themselves, some without eyes, others with holes through their chests. Their mouths moved but made no sound. They circled the clearing. Then from the dark, one stepped forward, a man in tattered army uniform. His voice echoed not in the air but inside their minds. "You fed us lies, you promised peace, you used us for greed." Tu sobbed, falling flat, begging for forgiveness. The hermit threw a handful of blessed ash and the spirits recoiled, but not for long. They rushed in. a wall of screaming souls. The battle that followed cannot be described in ordinary words. Flames that didn't burn, chains that clinked without metal. At one point, Atu began levitating, eyes rolled back, mouth foaming. The hermit slashed his palm and spilled his blood into the fire, calling on protective ancestors. One by one, the spirits began to vanish, but only after each was called by name and released from bondage. The ritual lasted until dawn. In the end, only silence remained. Atu collapsed, skin pale as bone. He lived, but never spoke again. He now resides in a small shrine built behind the village temple, maintained by monks. His spirit is said to be split, part living, part chained to the Mgyoe, still paying the price of his betrayal. Locals still avoid that road where he crashed. Sometimes, on nights with no moon, travelers report seeing a group of pale children walking in single file along the ditches, whispering in a language no one understands. If you ever hear it, don't stop. Don't look. Just ride on and don't forget to respect the dead. For some spirits, forgiveness never comes. Thank you for listening to tonight's story on Phantom Tales from Vietnam. If you enjoyed this journey into the unseen, be sure to follow the channel and join us again for more true ghost stories from across the land. Until next time, stay safe and stay respectful of what lies beyond. Let me know if you'd like an audio script version, subtitle format, or a condensed summary.